Hey there, it's Walt. I'm in the beautiful little town of Solar on the island of Majorca in the Mediterranean this weekend. And I've been thinking a lot today about the word fearless. You know, usually when we think about the word fearless, we think that it means without fear. We apply it to people that we think are courageous, that are heroes. And then I started digging a little deeper on the word today, fearless, fearless. I had a weird moment of fear today when I was parking my rental car. This little town is just a labyrinth of tiny little alleyways. It's not laid out like New York City in a grid where it's really difficult to get lost because everything is numbered and it's square. No, here in Solar, everything is crisscrossed in little narrow alleys, and I speak a little bit of Spanish, but not much. And the people here in Solar are quite friendly, but they don't speak very much English. And so I parked my rental car on this little side street, and I had no idea where I was with respect to this beautiful little town square, which I wanted to find. And off I went, and I started looking for landmarks and trying to identify things that I could follow on the way back. And I thought, how silly to be afraid, and yet I felt this weird little fear. You know, this from the guy who is working on the 7 summits, who rock climbs, ice climbs, ski mountaineers, goes up in the worst of weather on some of the high peaks of the world, blue water sails, backcountry skis, you know, scuba dives. But here I am, afraid about the rental car because I've parked it in a place where I don't know whether I'm going to get back to it or not. So I was just aware of that fear as I explored around the town, and luckily I did find the breadcrumbs back to where I had begun, and all is good again. But you know, fear is real. It's part of it. It's part of who we are as human beings, and I don't think fear ever goes away. In big things or in small things. It's part of who we are as human beings. I love the phrase of Susan Jeffers, who wrote the book, "Feel the fear and do it anyway." Our best lives, they're just on the other side of fear. The beautiful little town squares, the rainbows, the mountain vistas, the beautiful places, the experiences in our relationships, they're all just beyond that place of fear. And knowing that the fear doesn't ever go away, just to be aware of it, just to hold it, just to acknowledge it, to feel it, and to know that even though it might be silly, even though it might be a silly fear, it's real, it's part of who we are, and that we can find our way back. So I'm going to go back and look for the rental car. I think things will be just fine. Make it a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Talk soon.